Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to show you something that we just recently picked up that I think is pretty cool. So believe it or not, what you see in front of you is an award-winning plow. We just picked this up from an auction back in the Midwest. We just brought it home a couple of weeks ago and got it unloaded, and I'll put a video of us unloading it and also a picture or a video of my brother loading the plow. But what this is it's an Allis Chalmers #2 plow, I believe. It's very similar to the 2-bottom plow that we have, but as you can see, we got 1, 2, 3 14-inch bottoms. As well, it's on rubber rather than steel wheels. But let me get back to the award-winning part of it. So the fellow that we purchased this plow from was an older gentleman back in the Midwest, near Kansas. Well, he actually lives out near Topeka in Kansas, but he had a friend named Austin Chapman who used this plow pulled by a Caterpillar D2 at the Agricultural Hall of Fame plowing competition, and he won the competition and has an award and everything like that. So that's why I kind of jokingly say it's an award-winning plow, but in reality I guess it did win an award. And even though a lot of that is up to the skill of the operator, you have to have good equipment in order to win something. So it must be a pretty good piece of equipment. So as I mentioned, we bought this from an auction back in the Midwest, and it's a little bit of a bittersweet story because we paid $110 for the plow. Yes, my dad did have to go back and pick it up. He was going back to visit my brother anyway. So he just drove his truck rather than their other car. And so in fuel, he probably spent about $300 more in fuel than he typically would have. But $110 for the plow really isn't too bad, especially when you consider you got a brand new tire here, which is worth easily $110. You got another good tire here, which is another $100, and then the points on the plow are all really pretty good too. So the reason I say it's a little bit of a bittersweet story is because after the fact, when my brother was going and picking up the plow, we found out from the guy that, yeah, well, whenever you put something up on an auction, you never know what it's going to go for. So we paid $110 for it. I'm sure he was probably hoping for a little bit more. As a seller, you're always hoping for the best price you can possibly get. But not only did it not sell for very much, as well, the selling fee for him was $100. So in the end, he only got $10 for the plow. And so it's just one of those things when you're selling something, you've got to be aware of that. There's been times where I've sold something, trying, not necessarily on an auction, but selling something just classified ads, hoping to get enough money for it, and you just have to keep on dropping the price more and more and more until you find someone who's willing to pay what you're asking for. And in the end, you kind of have to come to that mutual agreement on it's worth what someone is willing to pay for it. So anyway, but that's why it's a little bit of a little bit of a bittersweet story, just because he didn't get nearly what he was hoping to get for it. So if anybody back in the Midwest knows a fellow by the name of David Chapman, who has a Caterpillar D2, you can tell him that his plow, or the plow that he used, is now out here in the Mountain West. I'll go ahead and I'll put up some video of us unloading the plow, and then also a video of when my brother went and picked it up, him unloading it and loading it back there in Kansas. It just barely fits, but it does fit. You can see over here, we had to take the wheels off. There's about 1.5 inches right here on this side, and on this side, 1/2 inch. Well, actually 3/4 of an inch, because that's a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. The reason we bought this plow is because my dad and I, when we went to the plow day we had a couple weeks ago, we used a 3-bottom Oliver plow behind our John Deere 70, and it pulled really well. And so on the way home, we decided, hey, we should probably look and see if we can find a 3-bottom plow. And it just so happens that I had seen a plow on an auction, and so we watched it and we ended up buying this for $110. But right now what we need to do is we need to get this thing unloaded and out of the truck. Yeah, they're big.
I think I couldn't tell for sure, but
I think if you just measure between these beams, that tells you how big the plow is. Maybe not. That makes it seem like it's only
16.
14.
No, they're 16. If we go from, oh yeah, 14.
Oh, Nathan said it was 16. What if you measure the plow? Maybe we're measuring wrong.
14s.
So they are 14.
They are 14s. I thought they were 16s, but I didn't. I couldn't measure these. They're 14s.
Okay.
Here it is all strapped on. Fills about every inch of a 10-foot trailer. Probably could position it so that it takes less space, but it's about where it is right now.